Hello one and all, welcome back to New Cats. This is a big one here because we are closing out the first season. And we are closing out that first season with our rival, the Illinois Fighting Illini. I started off this video here just painting through their schedules. You can see how it's kind of went. They're 4-7. We are 4-7, which historically is a lot better than how they'd actually do. We'll get into that when the game starts. Just kind of wanted to pan over their season and just show you how things are going here. We are very evenly matched. We rank 65th in the nation. They rank 66th. I guess the numeric stats here about offense and defense and this and that are probably not similar or accurate, but we are pretty evenly matched teams here. So this battle for the rivalry trophy, I believe this is the first NCAA game where you fight for rivalry trophies. There's a lot of features they added with 04 and 03, and I can't remember which ones are which. Like, I'm pretty sure 03 is the first NCAA where you can adjust your schedule and like redshirt players. But I think 04 is the first game that has rivalry trophies in it that you can play for. So that's what we'll be playing for today, is the Sweet Sioux Axe. Hopefully we can get a trophy here in our first season as coach, even though it's not a bowl trophy or anything. I think a rivalry trophy is still important. So I guess with the game getting underway, we'll glance over the Illini sort of history here, because it's not great. At this moment in time, the Fighting Illini are currently in the middle of, or actually towards the end of their tenure with Ron Turner, who would kind of revive the program for a couple of years. He'd have some pretty bad years, but he has a couple outlier years, including a 10-2 season in 2001, in which Illinois would win the Big Ten and then lose in the Sugar Bowl and finish ranked 12th in the nation. But in the year that this game takes place, the Illini would go 1-11, which they've already improved on, so good for them, I guess. We're coming off a humongous win over the Michigan Wolverines, who were ranked 10th at the time. They followed that up with a loss to the Buckeyes, as we saw in the last video, and would drop them to 25th. So they had a pretty terrible end to their season, and we're looking to tie a nice bow onto ours, as our first drive already doesn't go as planned, and Illinois has an opportunity with the football here to do something early on. So 2nd and 7 for the Illini. They're going to send a man in motion. Going to let that play clock wind down a little bit, and quarterback number 7 is going to drop back and look over his options, move in the pocket a little bit, gets himself into trouble a bit. We saw that last week with Michigan. Their quarterback number 16 just moved around in the pocket a lot. He didn't really drop back. He took like 2 steps back and then would just move forward in the pocket into some pressure. So not a good look there, but Illinois gets what they need on the ground with the running back number 20, who picks up about 11 or 12 yards to get Illinois another first down. So if you can't get it through the air, just stick to the ground. One of those has to work, right? So 1st and 10 for the Illini. Hard to gauge where they're on the field with no logo here, as our right end completely overruns the play and misses the tackle, but we catch up to it and are able to contain number 20 before breaking out for a huge gain. So 2nd and 7 now for the Illini. And they're going to go with an option here. The quarterback's going to hang on to it. The running back gets tackled now, and the quarterback loses the ball on the run here, but Illinois is able to recover here. We had a couple guys in position to grab that one, but Illinois actually gains a couple of yards on that fumble. So it's going to be 3rd and short for the Illini. Can they convert here? He's got all day to throw, and he finds number 29 across the middle, who makes a catch in coverage. He hauls that one in, and the Illini now not only have a first down, but they're cooking here deep into Wildcat territory. They're going to go with a pitch now to number 20, but we got guys all over that. He's not getting away from us. If we can contain the run pretty well, then I think we should be all right. I'm kind of scared about what this number 20 can get up to. So this is our first time seeing Illinois. I really do not want to lose a lot of games in this series. I never want to lose to Illinois, you know. It's like, I think of it like the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, you know. Like, you can win every single game in the season, but if you lose that one game, that trumps everything else. So I'm trying to make it that way here with this rivalry. We can lose 7-8 games, but we cannot lose to Illinois. But we're doing a pretty bad job of it right there, as quarterback number 7 finds his man in the end zone. A pretty nice dot here, about a 25-yard pass to put a nice little bow on this opening drive for the Fighting Illini. He finds number 29 across the middle again, and again we had Wildcats in position, but none of them could make a play on the ball, as the extra point is knocked through, and Illinois takes a 7-0 lead to open this game up here. So the rivalry's already not going how we want. So our number 14 is going to drop back, and Illinois sends some guys around the outside, and we'd go for a humongous deep ball, and somehow number 9 comes down with that in double coverage. It's like watching David Boston with the Cardinals, man. I don't know how he came down with that one. I think that was just a wing and a prayer. I might have even hit the wrong button. I was just like, dude, let me just try a deep ball or something. And the game was feeling nice to me, I guess, with how bad our offense has been the last couple weeks, and they bailed us out with that. So after just one play, we were cooking close to the red zone here with a potential to knot the game at 7 here if we can just punch it into the orange grass. As we float that one to 18 in the flat, and he gets a nice reception here. So on 2nd and short, we're going to give it back to him on the ground, and he finds a little bit of room in the middle and falls forward to get us another first down. Already moving the ball a little bit better than we did to open the game, so here we go. 1st and 9, we're going to drop back again, and we're going to find wide receiver number 9 on the right side of the field in the end zone. He'll have that one for 6. We're going to knock this one through, and that's going to tie the game at 7 apiece. So after coming out of this game kind of slow here, kind of dead on arrival, we take just 4 plays in 1 minute to go 69 yards. Nice to get ourselves our first touchdown of the game. So what can Illinois do to answer us back? They're going to float that one out to 84, heading towards the left side of the field. But we got a guy in position to make the play here and keep that one well short of the sticks. And with that play, that will end the first quarter. We are knotted up here at 7 in Champaign. So 2nd and 3 here. Can Illinois convert? They go with the fake handoff and float that one out back to 84, who seemed to have his man confused there. He had a guy on him, but I don't think he was really ready for the ball, prepared for the ball to head his way. So 1st and 10 for the Illini. They're going to go with a pitch to the outside with number 20. And again, he tries to get to the outside, but we seal that off pretty quick. We contain the run pretty well on this team, I will say that. 2nd and 10 now for the Fighting Illini. They're going to send their tight end in motion and let that play clock tick down. And they're going to go with another handoff to number 20 here, and he had a little bit of a window there to try and get through, but we adjust on that one and are able to contain them again. So 3rd and 7 now for the Illini. They got to get a good bit here to keep their drive going. Let's see if they can. They go with the delayed handoff this time to number 20. And fortunately, number 3, our linebacker, was able to shake off of that block he was on in order to make the tackle. That could have been disastrous. So Illinois has to punt the ball back, and now we have another opportunity to potentially take a lead here. As we're rolling way out, we wait till the final second to get rid of the ball, and we find number 7 just upfield, about 10 or 15 yards upfield, and he makes that catch in coverage. We were running for our lives there, but we were able to get the ball off with about a half second to spare. So on the very next play here, we're going to drop way back, and the pressure gets to us again, and we had a bunch of Illini getting together to try and do something with that ball, but fortunately it is just batted down, and we retain possession. So 2nd and 10 now for the Wildcats. We're going to go with the running back who shakes off a tackle and gets a generous animation to bring him even further, and that will give us a first down. We haven't got a whole lot of contributions from the running game at all. I've been saying it every single week, but right there we get a nice pickup from our fullback too. So if we can string together a couple running plays that are halfway decent, get a couple first downs from the run game, I think this will be a success as far as our running attack goes. So 2nd and short now, we're going to go back to the ground game, see if we can pick up the rest, and we can't, as Illinois has that play well read and dead to rights before it can even get going. So 3rd and short, can we get what we need? We're going to try and go through the air for it, and we float that one out to the tight end. We threw it off our back foot, so not a very good pass. Our tight end has to kind of maneuver to get to that ball, but he's able to haul it in, and we have another first down. So 1st and 10 now. The clock is underneath 2 minutes now. We gotta move the ball here a little bit more efficiently if we want to add some points to potentially take a lead here in Champaign. So less than a minute and a half now. It's 2nd and 8. We are in Illini territory. We're going to float that one out to our tight end again, but he's out of bounds by the time he hauls that one in. So we were just a little bit late on that pass here, so it's 3rd and 8. What can we do? We're going to drop this one back. We're going to find number 80 going across the middle on a quick slant. Now that, I don't know why we don't do that more, man. Just try to hit him on that quick slant. That play took a second just to develop. We didn't even really move on that one. So that was an efficient play by our offense to keep this drive going here with just a little over a minute left to work. The pressure gets to our quarterback, and he floats that one off of a linebacker's head. He wasn't even waiting for the ball. I bet if he turned around, he probably could have had an interception going the other way. But fortunately, we keep the ball. 2nd and 10 now. We're going to go with another slant to 80, and he's got this one hauled in, and he gets brought down. He's dragging a man with him down to the 1-yard line. And now with 1:03 left to go, we can just set up here on the goal line, take it easy, and try and punch this one in for another 6. So on 1st and goal, what are we going to do here to try and throw off this Illini defense? We're going to go with our running back, and they were not thrown off in the slightest. They had that play very well covered. They're expecting us to run it right down their throats. So we're going to go with the fullback to try and throw them off, and that time we are successful and add another 6 to the board. Please and thank you. And another touchdown. I mean, we typically touchdown goblin is how I like to run this goal line offense here. And so the fullbacks are always going to have a job or something to do here. Our point after goes pretty awry, so our lead sticks at 6. And we just add to the kicking woes of our first year here at Northwestern. So with only 17 seconds left, what can the Illini do here? It looks like they're just going to hand this one off and try and run out the rest of the clock here. And just take this one into the locker room and maybe try to readjust here. It's still anybody's game as we enter in to halftime. There's not much, I guess, really to speak on. I think we've executed fairly well on offense, at least so far. Not so much I can really critique here as we look at the halftime stats here. It's still a relatively even game. Illinois hasn't had a whole lot of trouble I guess, moving the ball. They haven't done much outside of the first quarter, but if they can figure out how to finish here, then we could have ourselves a game, ladies and germs, as that kickoff barely gets back to the 20-yard line. That might have been stopped at about the 18 or 19-yard line, so not a good start for the Illini offense as they come out in the second half, try to answer us back. So they give it off to number 20, who's breaking a couple tackles, and he fumbles, and that one is picked up by cornerback number 20, and we have this ball going the other way. So number 20, I mean, you hand it to him enough times, he's going to cough it up. And that's now the second fumble that this Illini offense has had. That's the first one that they've actually lost. And you can see there, he's just getting pulled by our linebacker and just coughs up the ball in the process. So a really costly mistake there early on in the second half. You cannot afford to have things like that happen as we give it to our running back, who's dragging some tackles, but gets stuffed by the big linebacker just short of the marker. So, but it's still a solid pickup now, and you can see there in 114 attempts, he's only amassed just a little over 300 yards. Not a very efficient season, especially for a 90 overall player in this game. So I keep blaming our formations here, but I just think I'm not a very good rusher here in the NCAA 04. Maybe in 05 or 06 I might be better, but I'm not sure. But we're going to stick with the ground game because it seems to be working. The Illini D-line cannot seem to get any separation or penetration and stop us in our tracks. So we're going to keep grounded and pounding and see if we can get closer to the end zone as we go with the fullback to try and pick up the last of what we need, and he gets stuffed at the line. So we may need a change of ideas here. We may need to hit the playbook and see if we can crack out something else to potentially punch in this ball. So we're going to drop back and hand it to a running back out of the flat who doesn't have a lot of room, but he has more than enough room to get the first down, and that's exactly what he does. So we have first and goal now. We're going to set up in the I form and try to give it to a running back to get those points, and he does just that as he gets clotheslined at the goal line, but it doesn't matter because that ball has broken the plane. And so this is a complete rushing attack here that we have going on in Champaign right now. I'm very surprised. We haven't had to do much through the air, and what we have, we've gotten pretty lucky. So we're going to go for 2 here to try to get our lost points, but that one just gets lost in the coverage. We really didn't have the rollout open like I thought we would. So we leave now 2 points on the board, and our lead goes to 19-7. So Illinois is going to try and do something here. They're going to give it back to number 20 even after he fumbled, and he redirects on that play and gets clotheslined himself and only picks up a few. So 2nd and 6 now for the Fighting Illini. With that play clock winding down, they're going to go with the option now. And that play completely fell apart. The running back pretty much just ditched their quarterback, and he had nowhere to go with that one. So quarterback stands up in the pocket, plants his feet, and hands it off to the tight end, who makes a great catch and knocks over one of our guys and gets himself a first down. 1st and 10 now. Illinois is going to work out of the shotgun now. We haven't seen that too much from the Illini this game. Doesn't take much of a step back and launches that one over the middle where we have more than enough guys waiting to make a play on that ball. So 2nd and 10 now for the Illini. What are they going to do? Can they go back to the ground game? Will they stick to the air? They got to get something going here. They're going to go with a pitch to the outside. And this time, number 20's got some blocks here, but they evaporate pretty quickly, and not much more is going to happen with that play. So it's 3rd and 10 now for the Fighting Illini. Can they do something here? They need a first down. What can they get? They find their tight end number 81 again, and fortunately our linebacker makes a pretty nice tackle just short of the sticks, and Illinois will punt that one away and give it back to your Wildcats. So we try to go with the ground game, try to get to the outside, and there's nothing doing there. We are moving backwards. So 2nd and 15, we move quite a ways back. We lost quite a few yards, so we're going to try and get this one through the air if we can. We float that over the middle, and there was a couple guys perfectly in position to make that pick, but fortunately no one is able to come down with it, and they just play a game of volleyball with it out in the backfield. So 3rd and 15, we need everything. Can we get something? We give it up to number 2, who makes the catch close to the sticks, but I think he was tackled well short, so it looks like our drive here is going to end pretty quickly as the 3rd quarter comes to an end, and we have ourselves a nice 12-point lead over the Fighting Illini heading into the 4th quarter. So feeling pretty good about our odds here, but we still got another quarter of football to play here, and nothing is set in stone as the Illini are going to open the 4th quarter with the football, and that one is covered well by our defense. Illinois tries to go for a screen pass here, and he's got some room on the outside. Our free safety was able to catch up to that, but however, he injured himself on that tackle, so he made the open field tackle that we needed to contain that play from breaking for even more yards, but at what cost? So we're at the end of the season. I expect guys to just start falling apart here, but hopefully our free safety is better. He's one of the better guys in our secondary. So things end pretty quickly for the Illini following that play, and we would get another opportunity with the football. So 2nd and 9 now. We're going to work out of the shotgun here, try to get the last of what we need. We love going for those slants because number 80 is our guy, but right there he's not our guy as he leaves his hands on the bench and cannot haul that one in. So I've been dealing with the drops all season long, man. It's tough here, but we're towards the end. We just need to get out of this one alive with a win. So we try and float that one in the window. Do you see the window that was put in? We dropped that one right in the breadbasket as number 1 was heavily covered, a heavily contested ball, but somehow that one gets through the window by number 14, and we get a humongous gain, and now we're working deep into Fighting Illini territory. A very, very solid play. We don't see many passes like that from number 14. We're going to flip this one out to number 18 in the flat. I tried to spin out of that tackle, but he was not fooled, so maybe got us an extra yard or so. So on 3rd and short, we got to get the last of it. What can we get? I think I was waiting for the tight end to open up, but I think he got caught in a block. I probably should have just launched it there, maybe drew a flag or something. I don't know. But there you see the chain gain is moving, so they gave that pass to us. I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything. If the booth ain't gonna say anything, I'm not gonna say anything. So in the very next play, we go for the handoff, and it looks like somebody wearing blue and orange got a little bit too much of the face mask, and so we will get another few yards. I mean, it may be a few feet. I mean, what, half the distance? To try and maybe add to our lead here, which is 3 minutes left to go in the game. We go back to the fullback who gets his 2nd touchdown of the game. A career day for him, for the fullback, man. That's what happens when you love your touchdown goblins. That's what happens. We finally get a clean kick for the first time all game, and that one is sent straight on through. And we take a 26-7 lead over the Fighting Illini in Champaign. Got to remember that we are on the road here, folks. All right, we've looked really great at home against Minnesota and Michigan, but how are we playing on the road here? Okay, this is a game that matters. Their quarterback takes a lot of time, and that time is precious because it gives him enough time to find number 4 wide open downfield around midfield. And now the Illini are going to try and run hurry up here to see if they can close the gap somewhat, even though it is a sizable, almost 20-point gap. The quarterback's going to step up in the pocket, and somehow with 3 Wildcats in position, that ball falls into the hands of an Illini receiver, the same Illini receiver, number 4, and so Illinois is moving this ball pretty easily, something they haven't done this entire game. And they float the one out to number 20, who makes a spectacular one-handed grab and cuts upfield and gets brought down just past the marker, I believe. Gets a generous tackle animation. So Illinois is really moving the ball on our heads here. We weren't prepared for this. It's 2nd and 1 now, so can they convert? And they do, as they find number 9 on the right side of the field running out of bounds. But he makes that catch, and Illinois gets to that first down that I thought they had. With 2 minutes left here, Illinois is moving fast, but not fast enough. Can they add some points at the end of the game? And when you throw really bad floaters like that, it's not going to happen. Number 7 absolutely lobs that one up, and it falls perfectly into the hands of our defender, and now we have the ball heading the other way on our own goal line. So we're going to need to get some separation here to not give up a potential safety. It's a 2nd and 10 here. We're also trying to burn clock and just play some keep away. We go with a dangerous pitching scenario, and I was able to redirect and get out of the end zone, thankfully, but we got a little bit of cushion now, even though it's 3rd down, with just a minute left to go. Illinois is not even burning their timeouts. I think they've submitted. We're going to go with the ground game, try and get that 1st down. And we get brought down just inches to spare, and now Illinois, I guess, thinks they might have some second gas here, and they blow a timeout. But I'm feeling pretty gutsy here. It's the end of the season, and maybe I shouldn't have felt gutsy as our fullback, who's had a great game so far. Even though he's only got 14 yards, he's got 2 of our touchdowns. He coughs the ball up, trying to get the 1st down, but fortunately we do retain possession. Even if we didn't, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. I think that's why I took the risk. If we didn't get the 1st down, or if we fumbled it somehow or something, the worst-case scenario is that Illinois flips it for a touchdown, and they're still down 10 points, 10 11 points or whatever. So not a humongous deal. We get the ball back anyway and get the 1st down, and we get the win ultimately, which means that your Northwestern Wildcats are the winners of the Sweet Sioux Axe for 2003 anyway. So we finally get something to put in our trophy case, something to hang our hats on. In the year since I started this channel, just about, we finally have a piece of hardware that we can look back on and be like, hey, remember, where were you when Coach Rich Poker won the Sweet Sioux Axe in 2003 against the 4-7 Fighting Illini? But here's the breakdown here statistically. Probably one of our more efficient rushing attempts so far this season. We were really efficient in the red zone, of course. Illinois' defense really did not show up to play, which I'm not surprised. We kind of controlled this ball game. We haven't really done that much all game, or all season rather. I feel like even the Michigan game wasn't that dominant on our end. We just kind of executed the few opportunities that we did have, which is something that we haven't done that well in other winnable games, like against Indiana or Wisconsin or even Purdue. So those are the games that are going to haunt me moving forward with this dynasty. But here's the receiving breakdown. Everyone gets their share of yardage today. Nothing too crazy here. No sacks given up, which is nice. I mean, that's probably our first game without giving up a sack in I don't know how many weeks. So normally we're playing under an immense amount of pressure, but fortunately this game, our O-line showed up to play. They knew that this game was important. They wanted that team photo with the axe. And so to end this video, to end the season, we're going to flex our achievement, the Sweet Sioux Axe won. The date on my console I don't think is correct. I don't think my PS2 time is correct, but it's exposing me anyway. Yeah, this game was played a while ago and it's finally coming out. But either way, we finally finished the first season of Northwestern. There's a lot that I'm planning to do with this series that I'm going to wait for that video to come out before I really divulge into that. But and just know that all that stuff's recorded, and the future of the New Cats on the Block series is decided. So, but this is the end of year one, so I hope you had fun watching year one. The off-season video is going to come out next, all the recruiting and stuff. So hopefully I see you guys in that, and we can hopefully improve this team for the future. And thanks for watching year one.